Well, hello. Oh, goodness, that's bright. Well, let's see how this works out. I'm going to be starting up a cooking thing here. Cooking show, cooking thing. This is the first time I've actually recorded myself cooking. I am the party lemon. Hello. Treehugger, whatever you want to call me. What's up? I'm going to go ahead and begin cooking here. What I'm going to be making for you is a T-bone steak. If you look here, I would consider this to be quite the tasty looking steak. It's thick. It's not what I would consider to be a crummy looking steak. That's a nice, healthy looking steak. What I'm going to be doing for you, I'm going to be pan searing it. We'll be cooking it in all natural vegetable oil from Family Dollar. Let's get this out of the way. And seasoning it, this is from Save-A-Lot. Seasoned salt. Fairly inexpensive. I'm using a $9.97 range. This is from Walmart. In a pan, there's a 3-pan set. The oil's ready to go there. This was $10.50 for all 3 pans. There are 2 more down there. Then I have the toaster oven, which will be using here. This particular piece cost me $39.97. I'll be using that. And then, goodness, my oh me, where did I put you down? I have a pair of tongs. There you are. Gotta have tongs. Tongs. You don't want to do this without tongs. You'll see why. Let's begin, shall we? Let's get this stuff heated up all the way. This will take a bit of time for it to get heated up. I have everything sanitized as it is. Try to make sure I have enough light. This camera's pretty good about light, but I want plenty of light to make sure you guys can see everything. All the details. There are the bubbles there sitting here. This is going to start heating up pretty quickly. We don't want it to get too hot, just 500 degrees. So this is going to be relatively dangerous. I prefer to cook my steaks from the frozen state, but this is a T-bone. Because of the giant bone here, I don't think it's a good idea to be cooking this particular one from a frozen state. And second, if it's your first time cooking it this way, and you're not used to cooking a frozen steak, and you don't know how to keep, the steak dry, but keep it from getting freezer burn, I don't recommend doing it because you can get splash burns. If you put water into 500-degree oil, well, it's going to splash back at you. You can get fires. You don't want that. We're going to be working with some pretty hot stuff. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, you don't have to be doing this. This is going to be searing it. Searing locks in flavor, so we'll go over that. After we're done searing it in this blazingly hot oil here, we will place it in here and we will start cooking it. Now I have, of course I'm going to say it. I have a steak that I have prepared just before doing this. I would have kept everything hot here, but I don't like the idea of walking away from having boiling oil. So I'm going to get this oil heated back up. It's almost ready here. It doesn't take too long. I'm not going to drop my phone in it. I have a safe distance here. And this, by the way, is my kitchen. That's my entire kitchen that I am working with. I have a sink off to the side here. Don't worry. There is a little bit more to it. But this is pretty much it. This oil is getting up to the right temperature here. Now we're going to roughly 90 seconds. I can see when it's been 90 seconds because I will be looking at the timing on the counter for my camera. But right about, it's just about ready. You can start seeing it bubble up, boil up here. When it starts sizzling, but before it starts smoking, I'm going to put this delicious looking steak into the oil. Let's go ahead and get a grip on this. It's about time. We want to grab it by the bone. So I have a piece of plate glass that I like to use. So let's get it by the bone so we have a good safe grip on it and we don't want to drop it. Holding it by the metal tongs. Careful. That's very hot oil. Set it in there without, getting yourself fried. Okay? And then let's step back from that. That's going to be pretty hot. Yeah, try not to get yourself burned on that. If you get yourself burned on that, I take no responsibility. This is going to start sizzling up, and after about 90 seconds, roughly, with this steak, I'm going to take a bit longer, maybe 2 minutes. After about 2 minutes, I'm going to turn this steak over, and then I'm going to get the oven going, and once I get the oven going, I will show you what the final product is going to look like. Let me get this piece of plate glass out of the way, because we're done with that for right now. Put that on top of the oven here. I'm currently cooking dinner. What I am about to have here that comes out of this is going to be lunch. I'm keeping it in the microwave just to keep this stuff warm. Do keep a proper distance off of this. You do not want to get yourself burned on that. It's very hot. It's kind of hard to really judge it, especially when you're looking through a camera. I can see off to the side is my cell phone, if you couldn't tell. So I'm going to get ready to flip this thing over here. Give it a bit longer. You can see how it's splattering. I'm going to turn this down to what this says is 2. Your range is going to be a bit different, but you can see how the oil's moving. Pretty small pan. You can use a larger pan if you prefer to. Let me get this up so I can turn this over. Get a proper grip on this. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to get burned. I have been burned cooking in the past. It sucks. Come on. This is why people have like a camera crew and stuff. Turn that over. You'll see that's got a nice sear on it. Don't do this naked, by the way. I'm wearing proper clothing. We'll get that nice and seared up. Starting to look good. Right about now, it's time to start turning this down. Well, maybe wait about another 40 seconds. Alright, that's starting to get a good sear. The other side is beginning to look like this. I think it looks good. Let's see what we have here. Let's get that turned down. Some people say I may be a perfectionist at this. That's fine. Alright, I'm going to have to put this down, put the camera down for this, because now what I have to do is put it into this oven. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this oven, I've turned that off, I'm preheating the oven to 275 degrees. This is a thick steak, so it's going to have to cook about 25 minutes. Maybe about 26 minutes. No, that's right, it's not frozen. I'm going to cook it about 20 minutes. I'm going to put this down now. Woohoo! Time to transfer a scalding hot steak into a hot oven. Always fun. There are dangers around this too. Let me move my camera to a mildly safer place for the camera. Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't want to melt the camera. Look at my ass. Alright, hang on. Get this up and out of the way here. Don't feel like dying, so I'm just going to carefully slide this over. There we go. Now positioning this, which way was I holding it? Like that? Did I just go upside down? Which way was I fucking... Oh, great. I think it was like that. I hope it was like that. Okay, yeah. It was like this. Okay. Now, this is the filet. This is the New York strip. Because of the way that the burner is set up, I'm going to turn it around like this. And pull it towards the front a bit, so that because of the way that the burner's built, I want this toward the hot burner, and then close that up. Close this up, and I'm OCD, so let's align this. You didn't. I don't know how much of that you saw. But here we go. It's in here, oriented like that. I'm terrible at handling a camera. I'm sorry. But this is how it's supposed to be oriented in there because of the way the burner is aligned. So this is going to sit inside the oven. We're going to get the oven closed up. Let this cool down. Get the oven closed up and away from the wall. And let that start cooking. And what you're going to wind up with is something that looks very much like this. This is what I had prepared just before I began filming. Let's dig into this, shall we? I don't know how I'm going to do this. So let's see. I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand. Oh, pretty easily. Oh, that's really soft. Easy to cut. Look at that. Look at this. Just look at how that comes right off of the bone. You see that? You see what I'm talking about? I'm not even trying here. I don't even really need much to pull this apart. Here's the steak there. I don't even need a fork to hold that in place. I can cut that apart. Oh, look at how that fillet came apart. You see how well made that steak is? One hand and I can cut that steak. Well, I'm going to have to anchor that. Cut that steak apart one hand. Get on the other side of this bone here. But I want you to see how evenly cooked this steak turns out. Now I'm going to get on the other side here. Let me put this down again. Cut a piece out of this steak and show you how I like my steak with a nice marble texture to it. Cooked all the way through, nice and even. Sort of melting a bit. You know. That fatty texture is important to me. Fat is flavor. Oh, that just fell apart. Let's get a good look at the inside center of this steak. I want you to see what this steak looks like. So you can see. Here we go. This is the marble meat and fats. Ah, it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. You see how this is cooked? See how this has turned out? That is a beautiful looking steak. Go away, Joe. That is a lovely steak. Now my favorite part. The part where I go and take a bite. See that? A little lunch. I can't complain. I mean, oh my God. Yeah. This isn't my job, but I wish it was. Look at how this is cooking up in there. Isn't that looking good? So, if you want steak, come on over. I'll see you guys soon. Time for me to upload this. It's been a pleasure. Take care, you guys. Treehugger, Party Lemon. Time for me to eat.